Meantime, Arizona Congressman and House Oversight Committee member Andy Biggs joins us at this hour. You know, I trust you, you know that, and I always appreciate your candor. What the hell happened?
Well, Kevin, my read on it, and from talking to folks in the Senate, is that Harry Reid has been killing every nomination. Normally, you'd have a bunch of these already through by voice vote. He stopped that.
Schumer.
And now he wants $1 billion. He wants $1 billion to fund programs. That's what he did to kill it.
Yeah, let me share this. This is part of what Schumer is saying. I just want to point this out. He says, let me be clear what happened. Donald Trump attempted to steamroll the Senate to put in place his historically unqualified nominees, but Senate Democrats wouldn't let him. He calls them historically unqualified. Well, there's that. What say you?
Well, most of those nominees have been have cleared through committee in a bipartisan fashion. This is Chuck Schumer trying to create a real roadblock to Donald Trump getting his agenda through and his nominees. That's the problem here, and Chuck Schumer is the real problem. And basically, the Republicans are going to have to start playing hardball in the Senate to get these nominees through. Yeah,
in case the folks at home didn't see it, I want to share this. This is President Trump, of course, reacting online as he is wont to do. He says Senator Crine Chuck Schumer is demanding over $1 billion in order to approve a small number of nominees who should right now be helping run our country. And this is the frustration I think a lot of people have here, Congressman. They say, well, listen, just go into recess. He can make recess appointments. What seems to be the hesitation in doing something like that?
I think that they want to make sure that you have credibility and you want to make sure that you follow the rules. And quite frankly, the Democrats are going to do everything they can to prevent that from happening. So you've got a series of pro formas that are going to cause a bit of a problem. So in reality, I think what's going to have to happen is when they come back, they're going to have to just ram and cram these things through and probably adopt the Reid exception to the rule and change the rules.
Meantime, while we have you, I just want to ask you about something that still continues to amuse and frankly frustrate people here in the nation's capital, and that is how somehow, some way, for years, the President of the United States was at best not as well prepared for the job as certainly he should have been. Let me share this from Congressman Lawler. I want to get your reaction to talking about, again, the challenges that the former president had, and again, this circle around him that tried to prevent the American people from knowing just how addled he was. Listen.
It's really shocking that this happened in 2024, that the White House, that the administration was able to basically hide the cognitive decline of a sitting president of the United States.
Still got a lot of big names set to testify. Why is it important, in your opinion, Congressman, that we continue to get to the bottom of what happened?
Because we didn't know who was running the country. We don't know why we had policies that were all schizophrenic. We need to know who runs the country, and we probably need to get in and change the 25th Amendment as well, because you had these fiefdoms set up by cabinet officials. So this is important. We also think there might have been some criminal culpability. What was going on there? Who was running the country? Who was actually there's rumors that there were pardons being sold, for instance. Let's find out about everything. And so we know what was going on there.
That's right, and find out who really was wielding that auto pen in a way that was not consistent with its intended purpose. Congressman Andy Biggs, great to see you, my friend. Appreciate your time today. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You too, Kevin.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.